It's been 10 years since this great man, Shane D'Elia, has been on the show. 10 years? Where have you been?
I've been around. Yeah, look, a day older.
Oh,
Okay.
he's such a smooth-talking devil. I'm so excited you're here. Maha Group is going so well, but Providor, it's a fantastic concept, and here we're going to be making one of the dishes that you can try in one of the restaurants.
Yeah, this is a dish that we used to cook. It actually started as a staff meal dish for the guys at the restaurant.
Right.
And it just became so popular that it made its way onto the menu.
Yep.
And now we're going to show you how to put it together.
Okay, what is it?
So it's my version of a chicken tagine, and Harissa tagine. It's a really quick one. It's a home version, so everyone should be able to get it. All this stuff's available through the supermarket.
Yep.
Let's get cracking because
Sure.
Harissa generally is a heap of spices and heaps of peppers.
Yes.
So if you can get all this stuff in the food processor, so all these ingredients go straight in. So some whole garlic, tomato paste, preserved lemon, and I like to take the guts of the preserved lemon out because I think sometimes it can be a bit bitter, and you've got all the seeds and stuff in there. Yep. Some roasted capsicums. You can either do them yourself or buy some tinned ones that have already been peeled.
Yep.
A whole onion just chopped up, and then a heap of chilies. So we've got sort of long red chilies, which are a bit sweet, and we're using some bullet chilies as well, which are a bit more fiery, but the balance is really nice.
Oh, I love these flavours.
Just with the bunch of coriander, we're just going to cut the base off and all the roots.
Yep.
Because you know that's where all the flavour is, right?
That's right, don't waste it.
And the leaves will keep those for later to garnish. So
Okay.
if you can get that cracking,
I'm onto it.
I'll start on the spicy base. And we're cooking in a tagine today. I mean, if you don't have a tagine, you don't have to stress. I mean,
Yes.
you can cook this in a pot with a lid.
It also looks fantastic when you bring that to the table, maybe with some couscous, just beautiful, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
stunning. So generally these are cooked over coal, really long and slow. I actually like to use it as a bit of a saute sort of, pan to get things moving first.
Yep.
Generally dry spices in a dry pan, but I'm actually starting with some oil. I think it helps coat all the spices and get all the flavour out for this dish.
Great, nice tip.
So in there, we're going to add some fennel seeds, and we've got some cracked pepper, just black pepper. I've got some, this is my favourite spice in the world.
What is that?
I talk about it all the time. It's called Aleppo pepper or pul biber. It's a Turkish Syrian spice, really, really nice. That goes in there as well. Saffron threads. And
If we can't get the Aleppo pepper, what kind?
Look, if you can't get it, you could just use chili flakes.
Yep.
But to be honest, you can find it around now. Okay, so just on a low heat, we're just going to start moving around those spices, making sure they don't burn. We've got some paprika. This is really hot, cayenne pepper. So just add a touch. You can add more if you need to later.
Yep.
Some turmeric. I've got some coriander powder and cumin powder.
A little bit more of those too.
Yeah, they're the big flavours in a harissa generally. So all these flavours go through there. So get that pureed up.
Okay.
And you can smell it all starting to come together, right?
Yes. It's so important to toast your spices, right?
Yeah.
And you can't compare the flavour. It really brings out all of their perfume, if you
Well,
like.
they've been asleep for so long, right?
Yes.
Like they've been in those packets. You need to open them up. You need to get them back alive. So if you can just get them moving around, you can smell that, and it's almost you can almost like breathe that in, right? Like it's magic.
This is ready to go.
All right, so just be careful when using a tagine. They are clay, and they can get really, really hot. So just pour all that spice. Oh, you can smell that, eh?
It smells so good.
And I mean, that's the big secret, and that's probably the hardest bit of the whole thing. Toasting the spices until they're nice and dark, but not burnt, and then adding it to the base. I mean, it's pretty easy so far, right?
And it's got a kick to it too.
So you can use the same pot. All we're going to do now, actually, I might get you to just cut those pieces of chicken, and we just want to separate the leg from the thigh.
Easy. Keeping it on the bone for a tagine is
So important.
so important because it's just going to taste better. Skin also.
Yeah. Once we've got those cut, I'm just going to give them a bit of salt because we haven't put any salt yet. And don't be shy with the salt because whatever salt we put on the chicken is just going to help to season the dish anyway.
Very nice.
Okay, so a bit everywhere around. Nice hot pan, skin side down. And just let that skin and fat sort of render because that's going to be flavour too, right?
Absolutely. I'll never forget going to Morocco and watching the many different ways of making tagine.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different layers you can add, so many different spices.
I think something important when you're doing this is you want to get the heat back up and you use the chicken as almost a bit of a mop.
Yes.
So if there's any like little spices that are hanging around the edges, get them back into the pot so they don't burn.
Yep.
Because all you need is a little bit of burnt spice and it can send the whole dish like really bitter.
Yep.
So we're just going to cook these until we get some nice colour all the way around.
Yep.
Make sure we render that skin.
Okay.
Right, so these are done. See how it's all like crispy and you render down a bit?
Yep.
Then we're going to take them straight out because I want to do one other thing, which isn't something that's usually done. Normally when you add chickpeas, you just add the chickpeas.
Yep.
But I actually think it creates a really nutty flavour when you add them and toast them a little bit. Something a little bit not traditional, but kind of, it works. And it doesn't take long, and what it does is it helps suck up all that flavour in there.
It just makes sense, right, to do this. Now I will never use a chickpea the way I have been. But doing this, you can see it just being like the sponge to the flavour.
Yeah. And look, we stumbled across it, and now it's something that we do. Like, even we cook them to the point that they're sometimes really crispy. And they come up really, really nice. You want to grab your harissa?
Harissa is ready.
Now, that all needs to go in there.
Homemade harissa. Yes, you can buy it at the shop, but nothing compares to make it from scratch, right?
No, look, there's so much flavour in that bowl. And the whole reason why we have to cook it now is because the only thing that was cooked in there was the spice. Everything else is raw, right? So it's not a traditional harissa, but for this dish, it works so well. And you can just see how tasty that's going to be, right?
Absolutely. This vessel is so delightful to work with. Every time you stir, it's caramelised. And then, like
stirring
you said, stirring back through.
Yeah, so you're just continually adding the flavour and there's more layers to it, right? Let's get those tomatoes in there.
Tomatoes in.
All right, and again, you just want to kind of warm those through.
Yep.
This is going to now cook for about 20, 30 minutes. Because you want that chicken, not so it's falling off the bone, but so it's got a little bit of give, all right? Now, that's a lot of sauce. This is nice with a big bowl of couscous or rice or, some bread to get into there.
I'm a sauce girl. I like a lot of sauce.
Yeah. I always thought you were a bit saucy.
I was waiting for that. I was asking for it, wasn't I?
Well, you left it open. We're going to give it some water as well because that will just start to burn. It's quite thick.
Something like this doesn't need stock because there's so much flavour in the harissa. It just needs that water.
Yeah. So once that's all come together, it's pretty much a set and forget, right? So chicken goes in. All the way around.
I wish you could smell it. It's
so good. It smells good, doesn't it?
It's better in 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, definitely. And all that sauce will come together. We turn that down on nice and low. Lid goes on. We come back a bit later and eat it.
Nice.
Right, so this is done. Believe it or not, this is done. All right, now look, with the tagine, I mean, long and slow is the way to go, right? So the longer you've got, you can keep cooking it. Just turn it really low, and you can kind of like even sort of lift that and jam a little something in it to let some of the steam out if it's boiling too fast.
Yep. Control, control, control.
Yeah. Let's do the reveal thing, eh?
Okay.
Ready?
Da, da,
Ooh,
da.
All right, this is hot too, so...
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Smell it, smell it, smell it. How good is it?
So good.
Have we got some spoons? Can we taste it now, or should we wait later?
No.
Because we need to finish it, but I want you to taste the sauce. So it gets thicker as it goes down, but it is quite hot. So just. I mean, I know we do that on TV. Go, oh, it's so good. But that is really good, right?
It's really, really good.
Yeah, but it's like everything going on in there. But talk about it anyway.
Enough spice, it's just right. I love that.
You could do it you could toast up now a whole lot of nuts and put them over the top, or put it in your couscous on the side. But big scoop of yogurt on the top, and there's so many flavours going on there. You want some sour as well.
Yeah. And
it's really nice and creamy.
I always love to watch how chefs finish off their dishes because it is a stew, right? So you do need a little pop of brightness, and this is how you do it with the yogurt and some coriander.
And then look, coriander, I think. Coriander chicken, preserved lemon, chili, so tasty. But really, there's no sort of sexy way to do it, right? You just kind of put it all over there.
Oh, may I say, that is a sexy dish. That is looking so good.
But that's it, right? Like, beautiful dish, something you can share with friends, big bowl of couscous. Happy days.
Happy days.